Even though it was only a short-term contract, there was a part of me that said I needed to come back and play in France longer. I went back to New Zealand to continue my career, and the opportunity came about again at the end of the 2015 Rugby World Cup, when I'd finished playing for the All Blacks. At that stage, my focus was to come back to France and play for a team that had huge aspirations to be successful and to win titles. I found that with Racing 92. The Racing Club de France has an incredible history, dating way back, so when I came to racing, I was trying to experience this tradition. The best way to do that was to try and win a top 14 title. Happily, we managed to do that, but in the most incredible fashion. Even better, it was in a game in Barcelona at the massive Nou Camp, a stadium I used to go to all the time when I was living down in Perpignan, to watch the Barcelona football games. To suddenly be playing in front of 100,000 people in a top 14 final was mind-blowing, an amazing experience. I loved being part of that. To have come to racing and had success straight away, I could see how much it meant to the club. For me, the toughest places to go and play rugby in France were always down south, somewhere like Toulon. If I had to play against Perpignan, I'm sure that would be one of them. But Toulon was a very hostile environment. They'd had a lot of success at the time I was playing there, but then every little place has its own character. Like Clermont-Auvergne, who at one stage, in 2014, had gone 77 matches, unbeaten, at their Stade Marcel Michelin. You could almost go through all the different teams and see how passionate their supporters were. Paris has its challenges when it comes to rugby, but even though the history with racing and Stade Francais goes back such a long time, you still know about the rugby down in the south. It's a way of life down there. In Paris, with there being so many other competing sports, there was plenty to occupy people at weekends, so it didn't feel quite the same. But at racing, we had a very loyal supporter base that would always be there. We played in an environment at Stade Colombe that had so much history at the stadium. I'm sure teams didn't like going to play at Colombe under the old grandstand that felt almost like it was going to creak and fall down before the game. But I absolutely loved that. When it came to cuisine, I'm happy to say I tried it all, from frog's legs to snails. I had to give it a go to immerse myself in the culture. The foie gras, cheese, pastries. It was a very dangerous place. I had to make sure I did plenty of training to burn off the incredible food that I was able to experience. The French take so much pride in their cuisine. The food is amazing. Just the number of different restaurants that you can go to that are world class is incredible. It's not like you're trying to pick the top 5 or 6 world class restaurants. They're all superb. Just going down to the local boulangerie, the local bar or brasserie, just hanging out with the locals close to where I lived was something I enjoyed doing as well. I came to France wanting to immerse myself in the culture, and wine is a huge part of that. I wanted to learn about wine, but I was a bit intimidated because there's so much history of wine in France, I didn't know where to start. But looking at Paris, so close to the Champagne region, I focused on Champagne. My wife and I loved drinking it, so we'd spend quite a few of our free weekends heading out to the area and experiencing the cellars of the different maisons and just learning about the history. It meant I gravitated towards Champagne, but with Jackie Lorenzetti, racing's president, owning several chateaux in Bordeaux, he steered us in the right direction to some good Bordeaux wine too. Obviously, coming from New Zealand, where the major grape variety is Pinot Noir, it's hard to go past a good Burgundy as well. So you're spoiled for choice here in France. My whole French adventure contained experiences that my wife and I will always look back on with pride and pleasure. To have experienced the French way of life is something we'll